Like what role do you see, like what role does your faith play in these different areas?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I
You know,
feel like
and hold actually you oh actually I might need to go on a rant after you answer this question, but I want to hear how you answer first, and then I might rant, and then I'll stop talking and
see
let
how my
Kristen
faith,
talk.
so how my faith, so how my faith projects through each of those passions.
Or
So
like
I'll
yeah, like how does it affect those passions? Or,
Okay. I really want to start off by saying that every time I sing and perform, mainly performing, it's okay. When you're recording versus performing, it's a completely different experience. When you're recording, you're in a more comfortable, area. You're not really in front of anyone except if someone's there recording for you, and you're just really feeling the music in your headphones or on your monitors. But when you're performing, like in choir, it is a full on experience, and I personally call it it's a very spiritual experience for me, because every time I hear all the voices around me. That's why virtual choir has been so hard for anyone who's in choir right now. Virtual choir is just not the same as in-person
mm,
choir. It's a perfect example because of this pandemic, is that when you're in an actual room with all those voices, it feels like I'm already in heaven, if that makes sense. I don't know if that really makes sense. It feels like I can feel heaven and I can feel God within my heart, because when I sing and I hear those voices, it just feels so peaceful. And
mm.
I've like tried not to cry. I remember when I sang at Carnegie Hall, I was literally like mouthing, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful in here." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, wait, they're gonna see me saying this, or they're gonna see me cry." But it was just such a beautiful experience. And even singing at the local chapel at our university, it's just so relaxing, and it's just, you can just feel the presence of God there. And when I video edit, it's a little different, but I feel as though I am using my talents, and it makes me feel content and happy when I do it. I don't feel any stress, even though when you video edit or audio edit or music editing, all that stuff, even though it's very tedious and very time, it takes a lot of time. You can ask AJ, especially, to edit stuff is very precise. It's stressful. Technology can sometimes be a pain. Pro Tools, it always crashes on you. But if you love what you do, and and if you feel happy even during those moments, then I feel like that's like a real true like spiritual like thing that's going on, if that makes sense. It makes you feel very content, at peace, and that God is with you, and that everything is okay, even if things are going a little bit like sideways, whether it's a technical issue or you're feeling a little anxious. I always get performance jitters before I perform, even if I know my song or my piece. I would perform a recital, I always would get nervous, because it's that anticipation to want to entertain the audience, to want to be good for them. And I'm sure you can kind of understand that also, because I know you guys dance and record yourselves dancing, or you dance in front of people. That's why we were talking about hip hop. But it's the same for singing too, and performing, and even behind the scenes work like video editing, which I do back there. By the way, I have my video editor back here, and I have my music set up here. So that's my answer.
No. And absolutely. Sorry, Kristen, I think you got muffled on my end, what you just said.
No, you're good.
The and I asked that question, and I think my perspective on this has evolved a little bit, and of course, like I'm gonna let Kristen ask this next question, but there's just this idea that sometimes is prevalent, and I think sometimes it's more so in the world of Christian hip hop, that like whenever Christian hip hop artists collaborate with secular artists, sometimes Christian rap fans get mad, and they're like, "Oh, why is this person doing this? Don't they know that other person talks about all these things in their songs, or their music isn't glorifying to God, or all these miscellaneous things?" And like I found that like pretty much like, even though I call myself a Christian rapper, but basically every person that I have collaborated with and worked with has probably someone who wouldn't self-identify as like a Christian artist. Like, we're artists that are Christian, and we make music, and And we believe that what we do or what we create and as we follow our passions does bring glory to God, and can bless people and stuff, even if we're not necessarily giving a 3-point sermon about the gospel in that specific thing. And so I think, like, I really enjoyed, like, and I'm so excited for people to hear stuff that we've been working on together, because they're definitely, like, I think super meaningful and are going to bless a lot of people, even though one could argue they're not really, like, quote unquote Christian songs.
That was just, oh my gosh, beautifully said. That I completely agree with you on that, because you're right. Like, not everybody does, do that, but at the same time, we are really blessing people when we put our music out there. We're blessing them with that moment where they get to sit back and actually listen to something, or they can even be listening to it while they're like doing the dishes in the kitchen, or like, because people still, life moves on.
Yeah,
like,
people still do dishes. I'm just kidding. Yeah,
I don't know why that came up. It's just like an example. It sounds like something my mom loves to play music when she's exercising or like playing the dishes. So I remember when Right for Each Other and Hunger were finally released, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm downloading it on my phone. I'm like, oh mom, thank you. And she would play it when she's on her treadmill, and she would play it when she's in the house cleaning, like, hey, look, it's your song. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so funny.
That is really funny.
But let me know, AJ, when you want me to reveal our little collaboration we've been working on. It's not released yet, but I'm really excited to talk about that too. It's really exciting.
Man, I don't know. I mean, Kristen, is it time for us to give them the exclusive, or should we wait a little bit longer? Should we let them?
Honestly,